is kind of just like, I'm doing it, I like it, but like, I'm just like, ugh. Like, have you ever just been burnout of, moms can have burnout, working out can cause burnout, dieting can cause burnout. It's just like where, you need to be doing something, or that you're supposed to be doing it, or that it's good for you, but you just don't want to, or you just don't like it. I've had different phases of my business where I'm like, oh my gosh, I love, obviously as a whole, I love what I'm doing, but I do not want to talk about the coffee anymore. Like, I don't want to answer messages about the coffee. I don't want to do anything regarding to it. And that is a series of burnout. And so one of my biggest tips, and I have said this on different Zooms that I have talked on, is it's so important to find your running pace. This is not a walk, because walking is not going to get you where you want to go. But this is also not a dead-on sprint that you're going to be doing when you're promoting. It is a running pace. You can jog/run for a lot longer than you can sprint. But also it's going to get you there so much faster and more efficiently than walking. Okay, so this is the analogy that I love to use, and it's something that really clicked with me. So I want you to find your 80% running pace. Like I said, this is not 100%, 200%. We're going after, promoting the diamond, or I'm trying to go ruby. This is not a promotion month pace. This is if you promote, let's just say twice a year. Okay, so that's 2 months of the year. This is the 80% that you're going to be doing the other 10 months of the year. This is what is going to get you to that promoting month of, okay, I have to give it everything I have, 100, 200%. Okay, so the last time I promoted was actually a year ago this month. I promoted to VIP Triple Diamond, and it was a full 210%, like hardcore promotion. But what you have to do, what got me there wasn't 210%. What got me there every single month, what got me there was the 80%, 80%, 80%, 80%, 80% every single month. Because how often can you say that you truly give your 80% every single month? I'm not talking about 10%. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do host to post. So I got up one host to post today, or I didn't follow up for the last 4 weeks. That's not 80%. 80% is basically your 6 list, your core 4, your non-negotiables, your KPIs every single day without fail, doing it consistently. That is a running pace. And so there are kind of 2 things that can cause burnout, in my opinion. So number 1 is you do this gas pedal, I'm going hard, I'm going hard, I'm going hard, brake pedal, stop. Gas pedal, 200%, 200%, 200%, brake pedal, 10%, 200%, 10%. That can cause burnout. When you're like, okay, I'm in, you go all in, you go in super, super hard for maybe a month, maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, and then you stop, and then you fall back down. And then you decide, oh no, I don't like this, I'm falling. And then you go back to 200% and you're running and you catch back up, and then you get tired and you fall back down because you're doing something that essentially this business was not designed to do. And that's like going all in, 200% and then stopping because you're tired, and then going all in. And that's just not how the business is supposed to be worked. And then the second thing is just a constant dead on sprinting with no breaks, no Sabbath, no nothing. It's just all in 200% all the time. Those are the 2 things that can cause burnout. And so, like I said, how you can kind of counteract that is find that middle pace. Okay. And what that looks like for me personally is, I call it core 4. Depending on who your leader is, this may be something different. You may hear it as KPIs. You may hear it as your non-negotiables. You may hear it as a 6 list. There's some different tasks that can be involved with this. But essentially for me, the core of what I'm doing every single day that I have found is my running pace is I get between 5 and 10 host to post a day. Okay. Some leaders may want you to get 10, depending on how long that you've been in. Some leaders, if you're a little bit newer, may say 5. But without fail, I get 5 host to post up a day. Okay, that is number 1. Number 2, grow my network. So it is my goal every single day to get 25 a day, because that averages out between 400 and 500 a month. Some days it's 40, some days it's 20. But my goal by the end of the month is to have between 400 and 500 new Facebook friends a day. So I've broken that down, and I try and average about 25 new Facebook friends a day. Now, when you break that down, how can you do that? You can either send friend request yourself, Or if you're doing host to post, that kind of takes care of both of those things. Okay. And then I'm a follow-up guru. I love following up. It is like my jam. It is truly what took me from being paid as an executive to a double diamond in a relatively short amount of time, because I got very, very serious about following up. And then the fourth thing is posting. So I post on my stories and I post on my feed. That is my running pace. Okay. Now the months that I'm trying to promote, because I'm a triple, I'm trying to go presidential. The month that I'm trying to go presidential, that is going to increase. Do y'all hear me? Like, when you're going for a goal, you do more than the bare minimum. You do more than that baseline list. But on an everyday basis, that is just, a random June afternoon. It's a random August morning. It's those months in between the high peak months. This is what you're doing every day, because you're not going to get where you want to go if you're doing 10 host to post one day, 0 host to post the next, 2 host to post the next day, 0 host to post the next. You have to if you're consistent, and I have used this analogy as well, but I think it's so good, so I'm going to use it again. It is so much more beneficial for your body to run 1 mile every single day of the week than to run 7 miles on Sunday. It's the same thing with this business. It does 0 good if you get up 100 host to post on Sunday and then nothing the rest of the week. It does 0 good if you're going to follow up on Sunday but do nothing the rest of the week. It's going to ultimately, you're going to feel like you're working, and you're going to wonder why you're not getting results, because you're doing this gas pedal, brake pedal, gas pedal, brake pedal. And I have done that before, and I'm here to tell you it does not work. What you have to find that pace of like, nope, I'm going to get my 25 new friends today. I'm going to get my 5 host to post up. I'm going to make a post, even though I don't want to, even though I don't feel like it, even though I'm tired, even though I'm sick, even though my kids have had a bad day or a long day at work. Those are what is going to set the people who apart from the people who are successful from the people who are not. And that is, a lot of people struggle with the burnout, because that is how they're trying to balance it. And I'm also one more little section of my talking, and then I will be done. So I'm a mom of 3. So I am 24 years old, or 23. I'm almost 24. I turned 24 in a few days. I've got 3 kids. So I've got a 2-year-old and I've got twin 1-year-olds. And to say it is chaotic around here is absolutely an understatement. It is crazy around here. And I'm still able to find, I don't personally like the word balance, because balance makes me feel like everything has to be equal all the time. And I don't necessarily feel, for me, that's the word that I would use to describe it. I would say in sync. So I feel like when things are good for us, they're in sync. So I'm being in sync as a business owner, in sync with being a mother, in sync with being a wife. And that doesn't always mean that it's like 33%, 33%, 33% to equal 100%. That's not always what it means. Sometimes as a wife, I'm a little bit lower and I'm a little bit better of a mom that day and a good business owner. And sometimes it fluctuates, but as long as it's in sync, like it works better for me. And so that's kind of a word that I use. And I have found that a few things that make my business and my other parts of my life more in sync is figuring out when to work your business. So does that mean you get up before your kids? And this is where you have to make some sacrifices. Like, what do you want? You have to get crystal clear about what you want. It's the new year. It's the very first month of the year. So this is the perfect time to kind of get clear on this. But you have to know where you're going. More money, just saying I want more money doesn't cut it. What is more money going to do for you? And that's also going to take care of the problem. Like when you're motivated to do something, you're not going to feel as much as you have to, as more so as you want to. I said that completely wrong. But you're going to feel more like you want to do it rather than you have to do it. It's going to give you that motivation. So do you need to get up before your kids? Maybe you need to stay up an hour later. For me, I try and get up every morning before my kids, but I'm going to be honest, that doesn't always happen. So if I have a morning where maybe I get up when the kids get up, which is not my favorite way to start the day, but I'm human and sometimes it happens. So that means that I work during their nap time, full on during their nap time. And then once they get up, You know, I have my time with them. And then when they go to bed is when I rework, when I continue to do my business. Now, if I get up before my kids, when they lay down, that sometimes means I clean, or maybe I lay down with them, or I do other things other than my business. So those are just some different tips. Get up before your kids, work during their nap time, after they go to bed, just different things like that. Find the pockets of time throughout your day. This doesn't have to be just sit down at your desk and work for an hour. This can be 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. You know, when your kids are occupied with a snack, that's can be the time that you work your business. But you have to get serious about your goals, what you want, and you have to have vision, because this is going to fuel your fire, and it's going to help you find your running pace. Because when you're running after a goal, you're going to find what it is that you can truly do during a day. And that is your running pace, because your running pace, running is hard. You may sometimes feel that ache in your side and be like, oh gosh, I want to stop. But it's not sprinting either. And your body can do something a lot longer than what you think it can do. And so find that running pace that, like, oh man, 10 host to post is not always easy. 5 host to post is not always easy. Following up with your list of people in your calendar isn't always easy. You know, adding 25 new Facebook friends a day isn't always easy, but it's going to be that goal that's going to push you just a little bit more than what you're comfortable with, to find that pace that you can do sustainably throughout the year. Because like I said, those little bits of time where, you know, running a mile every day is better for your health and better for your body than running 7 miles one time a week. Same principle with the business. Find those little bits of time throughout your day to do your business, because that is better than just bulk doing it in 1 day or 2 days or when you feel like it, because that's ultimately not going to get you where you want to go. That is all I have for you. So I'm going to toss the baton to the next, I think, is it Caitlin? Is it Caitlin next?
Hey, yeah, it's me. Okay, awesome. That was really great. And I love the consistency whenever we speak. So you'll see that a lot of people that are going after the same things or have been in the business, you know, around the same amount of time, pretty much all of my notes are like linked right up to what Hannah is saying. So I think when I was thinking and preparing for this Zoom and how I wanted to talk, and I got to change okay, make sure I know my time. I kept thinking about, like, you know, we can give you all the tasks to do to create harmony within your business. I also don't use the word balance. I think harmony is a different and a better way to say it, like your in sync part, because there is never going to be a day that I am the same amount wife, mom, sister, friend, business owner. It just doesn't work that way. But there is harmony in my business that maybe one day I do a little bit more laundry, so for the next 2 I don't have to do it, or I cook the dinners for the 3 nights so that the next 3 nights I don't have to do it, and I can create harmony in my life and my business that way. So don't put so much pressure on yourself to be 100% for 100% of the things. We can do anything, but we cannot do everything. And so when I was thinking about burnout, I think the biggest part that I can give to you guys tonight is about mindset. We can give you all the tasks. We can tell you exactly what to do. We can send you all the messages. We can give you all the scripts. But if you don't have the right mindset walking into your business, it's going to be a struggle no matter what. And so first off, where are you going? Just like Hannah said, you can't say that you just want to be debt free or you just like want to make more money. Like, where are you going? And what are the small steps to get there in order to reach the now, later, like future goals, right? Because so many of us want these big God-sized dreams, which is amazing, right? But we're not giving ourselves enough grace to reach those little victories along the way. And then we get defeated and then we give up and we self-sabotage and we fall back right into the same cycles that we're so frustrated that we're in, when in reality, if you just give yourself a little bit of grace and take small victories, you're going to get to the end result. Drop a 2 in the comments if you struggle with comparison. I think burnout can happen in this business based off of comparison in a lot of different ways. I think you can constantly be looking at the next girl, seeing her sign customers and sign distributors and look perfect on social and always be dressed up and her hair always looks washed and all the things, right? And you just struggle, and you can struggle with that so much mentally within the walls of your, like the 4 walls of your home, that it doesn't matter. Even if you have a great day, you might not even allow yourself to even feel that because you are so weighted with comparison. comparison. And so just let it go. Be happy for people that are succeeding, but absolutely know that that is just, your story is just different. There are lots of people in the company that have come in and promoted very quickly. I've been in the business 6 years and I'm triple. I've been triple for almost 3 years. And so my story isn't super quick and fast. And I'm not going to have Stacy or Christina or Beth's story. That's not it. So everything that you're going through, know that you're going through for a reason. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And if you just embrace the process a little bit, you're going to learn so much about yourself along the way. Your story isn't meant for anybody else. Your story is for you, and your story is to create the ripple of change for your network, not other people's. So quit comparing yourself. Comparison is the thief of joy. And if you set that down, that burnout will ease. It will, because you are not going to constantly be running to reach the same goal as somebody else. Because as soon as you reach Sally's goal, then Betty Joe is going to have another goal, and it's just a never-ending rat race. So let comparison go. Also is discipline. So many of us know what to do, how to do it, say that we're going to get up and then don't get up, or say that we're going to do it and do the things and get the 10 host to post up, but we just sent the whatever messages that we did and whatever host to post got up that day and like whatever. You're just spinning your wheels. That's what I have in my notes. Like discipline. If you aren't disciplined with yourself right now and showing yourself what you actually are capable of, you're just going to be spinning your wheels. Which what happens if you spin your wheels? You get freaking tired, right? Like we only have so much endurance, and we are only humans, and there's only so much time in a day, and we can only spin so many plates in the air for a certain amount of time. So get disciplined with yourself, and I don't know about y'all. You can drop a 3 in the comment if you feel like this, but like I am not the person that can do things cold turkey. Just not that person. It overwhelms me. It's super weighted. I can't do it. It makes me upset. I get anxious and like angry, and like I just can't do it. So if discipline looks like going to bed an hour before you usually go to bed, then start there. If discipline looks like drinking a full bottle of water because you haven't done that in a while, like start there. Start with 1% changes, because 1% changes over 2 weeks will ultimately create such a difference for you. Whenever most of us build this mountain up of like what it is we need to do and all these things, and it stands so heavy and it's so tall and it's such a big climb, when all we have to do is take one step. One step is still further than where you were yesterday, day before, all the things. Eventually, those little things are going to add up to a big thing. And you're going to look back and you're going to be like, people, and let me tell you this, people are going to say, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? How'd you do it? And you're going to look at them and be like, I just started taking one step in front of the other. It's not always these leaps and bounds that sometimes it is shown to us, like when the success story is out there. So don't underestimate what 1% changes can do. Keeping yourself accountable with discipline will allow yourself more grace to listen to yourself on days that you're like, I actually can't, for whatever reason. But when you're disciplined and accountable on all the other days, and that day comes up that you're just like, I can't do this today, or I don't have time for this, or you said yes to too many people and like you just can't perform. Those are the days that you do set it down, whether it's the business, whether it's dinner, whether it's laundry, whether it's kids, whether it's husband. Those are the days that you do set those things down and allow yourself just some time. Sometimes we just need to rest. I read this quote today, and I don't think it was by mistake coming on this Zoom. If you are somebody that rests and then guilts yourself the entire time that you're resting because you're resting and you're not doing the things, that's actually not rest. It's actually not rest. You're actually not resting. And so whatever you need to do, sometimes the laundry needs done. Sometimes the kids need a mom. Sometimes your husband needs a wife, and sometimes your house needs a mom too. And you're just going to have to figure out. But if you're caught in this comparison and I'm behind it, I have to keep going, you're never going to just accept where you are, friend. Just accept where you are. Stop making yourself feel bad. Stop beating yourself up about whatever position that you're in now with your customer account or your distributors or your bonuses or your posting or all the things that you know that you have to do, but you haven't done it. Accept where you are right now, friend. You are going to benefit yourself waking up tomorrow knowing this is where I am, and it doesn't mean that it can't get better. Okay, so you didn't get 10 hosts to post up. Tomorrow doesn't mean that it can't get better. Okay, so your house looks like a bomb went off and nobody has clean underwear and people have been eating out of boxes for the last 4 days. Okay, it doesn't mean that it can't get better. And starting tomorrow, accepting where you are is going to just allow yourself to be. We are not the little girl girls. We are not the teenagers. We are not the young adults that always have to do what everybody else feels like we have to do. So we don't have to be those people anymore. You are a business owner. You are a strong, independent woman. You are brave. You are fierce, and you have made it through fire that you didn't think that you were going to make it through. So just accept where you are. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of your body. Be proud of your mind for allowing you to be in the space that you are now, and then kick tomorrow's ass. Like, go after it and do all the things and do the best that you can do. I had notes and I'm really trying to stick to them right now. Oh, when you are, and then I'm going to be done here. When you get into that like really great pace that Hannah was talking about, and we've all had a little bit of this in our business. I want you guys, when things are going great, when people are in your inbox ready to enroll, when you are talking to people and they're signing up, when your distributors come in and start signing their own customers and distributors, drop a 4 in the comment if you're manifesting that stuff, because that is what I am manifesting. But when you have all of that happen, take some time out of your day and journal what you're doing, so that when you feel stuck in a rut, or when you feel like you're not doing enough, or when you feel like things are a little bit off, you can go back to yourself journaling and saying, this is what I'm doing in the morning. This is how many messages I got out. This is how I feel. This is my relationship with my husband right now. This is my motherhood, whatever going on right now. Write down when things are good so that you can go back and encourage yourself, because you are the same person. Sometimes we compare ourselves to our own selves, which is something that I have a lot of trouble with. I go back to think who I was going triple, and I just can't believe I was that person, you know? I just can't believe I was that person. And I can sometimes compare myself to who I used to be in the business too. Compound months are those months that Hannah was talking about, that 80%, 80%, 80%. Allow your good months to pile up. It is, again, so easy to watch other people win and be like, it's different for her. She's doing it. No, allow your good months to pile up, because they do lead you to promotions. They absolutely do lead you to promotions, because all those seeds that you plant are going to harvest. But if you do not allow your compound months and your 80% months to pile up, we're not going to see it. So don't stop quitting on yourself. Stop trying to open up the microwave door and think that your bag of popcorn is going to pop when I keep opening the door, right? Leave the door shut and let your popcorn pop. Okay, last bit, and it's going to touch, but I'm also talking to myself. You need to address yourself of your toxic behaviors, because that is burnout. When you do the same thing over the same thing, mine is staying up too late. I will stay up too late. I will stay up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and then wonder why I'm not getting up at 8 a.m. and getting a couple hours of work in while it's quiet and peaceful in my home. That's the toxic behavior of myself. I need to address, why are you staying up? Well, because you feel like it's not quiet in your house and you don't feel like you have a whole lot of time to yourself. Okay, well, pull that apart then. Where can you find more time in your day that you can do a little bit quietly and by yourself? Okay, pull that apart. What are those times going to fit into your day during the day while the kids are at school, not while they're home, because it's not on my kids that I'm touched out or I'm overstimulated with noise. So being real with yourself on some of the things that we've done, probably to protect ourselves in a lot of our life. So I'm here for that. But if you are able to address some of those toxic patterns and those toxic behaviors, it won't just benefit you in the business, it'll free you in your life. And that's what I want for everybody when they work this business, to reach that harmony and burnout kind of thing that we've talked about tonight. So love you guys. Okay. Stacey, you're up, friend.
Hi guys. Oh my gosh. This is like a topic that is so, it just like warms my heart, because when I speak about these things, I'm not speaking to any of you. I'm speaking to the old version of me, because I don't know if anybody else has gone through a burnout or a season in their business where like they felt like their phone was always in their hand, or they put their phone in their business because their goals were so big and so amazing. Like they were doing all the things and you're enrolling and all the things, but it's like, I had to learn the hard way that like I run my business doesn't run me. And I don't know if that resonates with anyone here, but I literally had to learn that the hard way. And I'm so happy I'm still married. I'm so happy we have a great house, and I'm so happy that we have figured ourselves out, but it took a lot of learning. I've been in this business totally, completely for 7 years and twice. But the first 6 months of my business back, you guys, I don't regret any of it. And I'm not saying that I do, but like to go double diamond in 6 months, like that took a lot of work and a lot of time, a lot of late nights, a lot of early mornings, and I don't regret a thing because it taught me a lot. And because that 6 months has compounded me here. And when I say that, like, you can do it the right way and you can do it the way that feels really resistant, that thanks, Hannah, I love you too. But literally, those 6 months were the best and worst months of my life because it really did take me to where I was. Like, any of us triple diamonds can't say that we would do things differently. Like, we might do things differently, but none of us have regrets about it because it got us to where we are here. And there's been people who've left and people who've gone and people who've came and people who I thought were going to be absolutely rock stars, and they come, they rock it, and then they leave. And that's okay too, because the people who've taken me to double are not the people who took me to triple, and the people who were taking me to triple are not the people who are going to take me to press. Or, and I don't even want to say take me. I want to say, I want to take us to press. I want to take us to ambassador. And that's something that I knew very long time ago, that I was going to be ambassador in this business. And I still am. I'm going to do it a different way though. Okay. And I encourage you really to look at how you're living your life and how you're living your business and reflect, evaluate it. Look at how you're pouring into your people. And I mean the people in your life, the people that you love, the people who you're closest with. And you might have to make an apology, and that's okay. I've literally had to have really hard conversations with my husband and say, I love you and I love our goals, and I'm just struggling with balancing it. And I know that Caitlin says harmony and I say balance because it's really hard to do both. Okay. So when you have those hard conversations, it makes it easier. And then you have to just have hard conversations with your team sometimes as a leader and say, I'm taking the day off because my family deserves me. I give you guys like 6 days of my life. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it took me a really long time to be like, Sabbath, what is a Sabbath? I don't even know what that is. Like, I have goals. I don't have time to take a day off, but I really encourage you to find the pace, find the 80% that feels really good for you, and allow your business to compound. The problem with the compound is that there's so many of us who aren't patient enough for the compound. There's 300 people on our page and only 57 of you are on this Zoom. So I congratulate 57 of you who are on this Zoom, who are putting your business, at the forefront and saying, I'm going to spend an hour with my business. Okay. And I'm going to be patient enough to learn something new tonight. And there was also a part of my business where I thought I knew it all. I was like, I don't have to jump on Zoom. I already know that stuff. And then I would jump on the Zoom and I'm like, shit, I just learned so much stuff. Like, are you kidding me? But I'm just going to touch base on a few things that Caitlin said. She said, one habit at a time. I'm like the queen of being like, I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start my Weight Watchers tracking app. I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. I am going to be a size 2 when I wake up. And I'm like still a size 12 and mad about it, right? Because it's a weekend and I give up and I'm eating brownies and I'm like, what is happening? And so many of you probably have done the same thing. How many of you have said, I'm going to make 3 TikToks a day and I'm going to get 15 hosts to post up and I'm going to freaking rock it. And 3 days in, you're like, well, only got 3 hosts to post up. Thought about a TikTok. Like, literally, we're the queens of that. And I know I'm in good company because it's okay. But it's that difference between being intentional and deliberate. Like Lanisa said last week, she said, when you're intentional, you think about it. When you're deliberate, you take action. So it's like, you need to walk in the day and say, this is my intention for the day. This is how I'm going to be deliberate today. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it. And then you look back and you say, wow, I was super intentional and deliberate today. Like, you can be proud of yourself. I want majority of us to go to bed clapping for ourselves, not with the guilt of the things that we didn't do. And the best things I do that I've put into practice and that I've done is find a planner that has literally my whole day on it, as well as a to-do list. And then whatever I don't do, I just put the next day. I put it to the next day. I put it to the next day. But I also am one of those people that if I don't have it on a to-do list, it doesn't get done. Or I'm one of those people that I'm going to put a task I already did on the to-do list just so I can check something off so I can feel accomplished. I don't know if anybody else does that, but I do it. You have to switch something up if you're feeling burnt out. You have to switch something up and you have to fall in love again. So maybe you're like, well, host to post are just dragging me down. They're making you feel defeated. Then you have to find a win. You have to find a win again, whether it's doing your reels and your TikToks because those are fun. There's so many of us, you guys, who think that TikToks and reels, like literally just follow Caitlin and follow Tavia. I'm just going to do what they do because it's fun and it's funny and it's fun. They have fun and they're making money doing it. And I look at that and I'm like, I can't be jealous of it. I don't have the feature to make money yet. I just learned how to do a reel on Facebook the other day. So like, cheers to me. I'm super proud of myself. But the thing is like, I'm taking small steps every single day to be my best self. And you guys can wake up every single day and be the best self. You don't have to wait till you're a certain size, certain rank, certain bank account, certain amount of debt that you don't have, certain whatever. You can wake up and make the choice to be your best self every single day, because guess what? You have the power to do so. But so many of us are standing in a version of ourselves that we don't love, that we don't like. You're looking in the mirror, you're picking yourself apart, and you're expecting the loyal customers to come buy this grand old 120 BV, whatever. And you're like, I don't even like myself today. Switch your mindset. The sooner you can learn to become self-aware and make a shift, the sooner your business is going to take off and become easy and effortless. I'm going to repeat what Caitlin just said and get your mind right. This business is a mind game. 100%. You can do all the tasks, but at the end of the day, if your mind is not, I'm amazing, I am worthy, I am enough, life is happening for me, not to me, and this is all going to line in God's timing, then your business is never going to take off. Okay. You need to give yourself grace. There were seasons, you guys, of my business, and I'm not proud of this. And I talk to you about these things because you may not have experienced this yet. And I hope that you never have to, but there is times in my business when like no laundry was done. I hadn't showered in 5 days. I had no family time. I was short with my husband and my kids. I like neglected me and I neglected them because I put my business first, because I cared about enrollments versus my role in the home. And not everybody has kids and not everybody has a husband and all the things, but you are the number one most important person that you need to take care of. And then it is the tears. And I know that like Anna, my diamond on this right now, she understands that, because there was a time where I was like, you need to go like just watch a movie, take a freaking day off. You're literally working. And somebody had to tell me that once. I was like, no one's signing up. I've messaged all my 825 friends. You know what I mean? I don't know if you ever felt that, but I remember Brooke, it was Koneski at the time, but now it's Heinzler. And she was like, you need to just put your phone down and go watch a movie. And I was like, what is that? There's no BB in TV. That's the dumbest advice ever. And then I was like, damn, she's smart. I should probably take that advice, because sometimes we should allow ourselves to do that. And sometimes you need that just mental break. Now it becomes a problem when you're Netflix and chilling for 7 days and you haven't put up a post. Okay. There's an 80%, give yourself grace, wake up the next day and go at it. I'm going to say my choose, commit, compound. You have to make sure that you master one thing at a time. Post to post, reels, haps, TikToks, like all the things. Sometimes it feels like you're just picking up everything and then sand is falling through your hands because you don't know how to master all of it. Just do one thing at a time. Like Tavia said, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't know. She said, give it 30 days to see if it works. Sometimes the other problem is we're not patient enough to even see it work, right? Find the tasks that feel really good for you. If you hate cold messaging, then stop freaking cold messaging. If you hate host to post, then find another way and start cold messaging. Like literally do the opposite of whatever you're not loving right now. It doesn't mean don't do it at all. I'm just saying, if you hate doing it, then maybe it's not for you. Feel so aligned with whatever tasks make your heart really happy. Like I've learned that I really love coaching and pouring into my team. I really love working closely and seeing people win. I love it. Like it's my purpose and it's my passion. So nights like these where I get to talk to y'all, I love it. And that's aligned to me. And my business becomes easy and effortless. It's like the stars align and it just happens. Okay. And always, 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 always put self-development first. I remember Cami Pentecost said, I used to have 6 things I did during the day, and self-development was always the last one. And as soon as I flipped the switch and put self-development as the first, she goes, my business blew up. It's because that's a belief there that as soon as you become so aware and you can make a shift in a single moment where you catch yourself having those doubts and those fears, you know what? Fear is always going to be there. Doubt is always going to be there. And you can allow them at your table. You can say, you can have a seat here. You can have a voice here, but you cannot have a vote with my life. You cannot let it take over whatever your goal is, because we so easily do that, right? I think that's all I have for tonight. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to just help you guys through whatever burnout. If you've gone through it, drop a 1. If you've never been through a burnout, I would love to know, because it's all good. You might hit it. And this is the other thing I want you guys to know. A lot of times when we hit that burnout, we isolate. We crawl into this little tiny hole. We shrink back again. We don't want to talk to our teams. We don't want to talk to you don't even want to open up messages from whatever it is, because you're just resistant from it. I want you to reach out. As soon as you feel like you want to stop, as soon as you feel like you don't want to do this anymore, or isolate yourself from whatever you're doing, I want you to reach out to someone that you feel safe to reach out to. Any of us triple diamonds, anyone else that you see on these Zooms that you've created relationships with, we're here. We're a family. I can promise you 100% that we've walked through something in this business that you're going to walk through. Tavia's walked through things that I haven't. Caitlin's walked through things, whatever it is. We'll find you someone who can support you and encourage you through this, because that's what we want you guys to be able to provide for you guys, is just a safe community, safe space for you to really feel like you can grow into your 100% self. And like I said, she and he is already here. It's just a choice that you get to make tomorrow. So pick a small habit, do it for a week, and then add on to it. Allow it to compound. All right, Tavia, you're going to take us away? All right. You guys, I met Tavia last night. We went to dinner. It was so good. And that's another thing, you guys. Use the post in the Socialite group. Find someone she lives an hour and a half away from me. It's funny because my best friend lives about 5 minutes from her. And it was so amazing just to be with someone who fuels that fire and fills you up. Stay close to those people. Really, stay close to those people. I encourage you to cut anybody else who's not supportive. Cut them out. Chop, chop. Take out the trash, because God's got somebody who's going to replace, and Tavia is one of those people for me.
Aw, no, it was fun. All right, guys. So I'm excited. So I kind of am I prepped a little bit, so hopefully it's not too jumbled. But first thing I want to talk about as far as balance over burnout is procrastination. How many of you guys would honestly say that you're a procrastinator? Ha! Every single one of you, for the majority, should probably comment, okay? Here's the thing, you guys. Procrastination is truly the enemy of success. I think a lot of times we assume that, like, here's what I would say. I would say for many of you, perfectionism is a byproduct of procrastination, right? So how many of you do this? Well, I'm trying to get this all aligned. And once I get this all aligned, then I can go do da-da-da-da. But here's the problem. You never get this all aligned. So you're never going to go over here and do A, B, and C, right? So in a sense, stop using perfectionism as an excuse, right? Take consistent, imperfect action every single day and allow it to compound, right? Here's the thing, that when some of you were talking, you guys said so many good things, you guys. I have so many notes, but so someone said something about setting healthy goals. Here's the thing, set healthy goals. I wrote it down. And this just came to me, set healthy goals so you don't have to negotiate with yourself, okay? What are we doing, right? Like, so I forget which one of you said it, but you're like, I'm going to do this month. I'm going to do this, da, 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 da. And then all of a sudden, 5 days start to creep in, and then 10 days, and then you haven't accomplished anything. So you're like, okay, well, maybe I'm not going to go that high. Let's go back down. Let's scale it back a little bit, and I'm good with this, right? Why? Because you failed to have the discipline it needed to achieve that, right? Doesn't mean you weren't able to, right? Here's the thing. I truly believe that we make time for what we want to. And many of you may agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, if you truly wanted more for yourself in this business, you would have it, right? Many of us are really, really busy. We're overwhelmed. Here's the thing that I never understood is why in the world someone would go and work 8+ hours at a job and come home and say they want more for themselves, but we're tired, right? You're not tired, you're uninspired. Don't sit there and say for a moment that you're not motivated by something else that's not your family or something that you're working hard for. You can give 8+ hours to a job that is never going to build a legacy for you. Yet when you come home, you want to sit on the couch and watch Netflix or just eat or just do nothing, not even pick up your phone. You don't even want to send a message. You don't even want to follow up, right? But yet you want diamonds? That doesn't work that way. I mean, it really doesn't, right? At the end of the day, I think we are not, you guys, we are not tired. We are uninspired. We have forgotten what it's like. Motivation's where it starts, you guys. Motivation, like there's a quote and it says something like, motivation is what gets you started. Habits are what keep you going. So do you have to ask yourself, does your habits serve you or do they rule you? There's a difference, okay? For the longest time in my business, my habits used to rule me, meaning like I would get so engrossed in what I was doing and I thought that what I was doing was income producing, but it was just keeping me busy. There is a difference between working your business 8 hours and staying busy and working your business 8 hours and making a whole hell of a lot of money, right? Now, at the end of the day, if you were to tell me that working 8 hours brought me $8,000, bet I'm here. I'm here for 8 hours looking happy as a clam on Zoom if I have to, but I know that's not reality, right? So at the end of the day, you've got to figure out what that looks like for you. When we talk about this pace, you guys, it's going to look different for everyone. I don't care if it's 1 mile an hour is going to be different, right? Hannah, maybe her speed is 65. Guess what? 65 doesn't work for me. Maybe 64 works for me, right? At the end of the day, the idea of this whole thing of what we're saying is not to necessarily compare and say, oh, well, she just does it better than I do. No, like we got to stop that, right? We have to stop thinking and assuming that like we don't have what it takes, right? And I firmly believe that sometimes we want to shield like the storm. Like when you guys are going through a storm, we're like, oh my gosh, the storm is it's disrupting everything. I can't focus. Da, 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 da. Did you ever stop for a moment and think the storm didn't necessarily come to piss you off or to disrupt everything in your life? It actually came to clear out something that needed to be cleared out that you weren't willing to do in the first place. So God was like, okay, sis, here we go. You want a storm? I'm bringing it, right? Because you were not seeing all the clues I was laying. You weren't trying to show up in the way that I knew you should show up. So now I got to take it into my own hands and I got to bring something that's bigger to get your attention. And I think so often we want to shield it. We want to stop it from happening because storms are really messy. It emotionally, it's physically taxing. It's all of it, right? And a lot of times we want to put everything to the side just so that we can mentally get through every single day when that storm is happening. But did you ever think for a moment that what if you didn't choose to lay everything down and to procrastinate and to push it all aside? What if you just kept going and you trusted the fact that the storm that he has placed in your life is very intentional, right? It is very specific and it is intended only for you. And some of you may say, well, it's just one thing after another. Who says the phrase? It's just one thing after another. It always happens to me, blah, 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 right? Right? But at the end of the day, I think that's such a negative way to take on that, right? I think at the end of the day, we can all sit here and if we were to go around the room and ask every single one of you what was happening in your life right now, I bet every single one of you would have something that was negative, right? Something that we don't choose to want to walk through right now, but we're walking through it anyway. Every single one of us have it, right? So let's even set that. Let's just call a spade a spade. Every single one of us have that, right? So at the end of the day, that's never going to go away. So here's what I want you guys to do. It's all about fault and responsibility. Guess what? It is not your fault that maybe your current situation is not the best. It is not your fault that maybe you're going through a divorce right now and it's messy, ugly. It is not your fault that maybe you're in a position where you have to take care of your parents. It's not your fault that maybe you lost your job. It's not your fault that something happened in your childhood that is carrying on to your adulthood. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It is your responsibility to change it. right? It is not my fault that my dad decided to walk out of my life and now I have all of these issues when it comes to men. And then not to mention I have all these money issues when it comes to my mom because my mom was a single mom and I saw money in a different light. Now I could go on forever, but it is my responsibility to become a different human being than what I saw, right? Because I want something different. So I think we have to kind of understand our life in that aspect. So when we talk about procrastination, we talk about burnout, it's guys, no one's ever saying that the storm coming was your fault, right? But it is your responsibility to pick up what is left and keep going, right? Because here's what I'm going to tell you. Today is January 16th, right, of 2022. You have never lived this day in your entire life. You can sit here and say, well, this just feels like it was, last week and I just can't get out of this slump. Every single day is a new day that you have never lived. Therefore, you have no idea what the day will hold. And the only person you're competing with is who you were the day before. So like, you're not competing with, like someone said it, you're not competing with us. You're not competing with your sidelines. You're competing with yourself. And sometimes you guys put up a fight when you compete with yourself. We are mean. We are so mean to ourselves. I think Caitlin was talking about, we are so stinking mean, you guys. So, okay. And then the last thing I wanted to say, you guys, you were talking about people coming and going in your life. Okay. Here's the thing. Many of you want to procrastinate. You want to get burned out because people are leaving, right? Beginning of the year, you hear people leaving the business. Oh my gosh, this person's leaving. Like we're shocked, right? Life happens. Life goes on. People are only in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Here's how you know the difference, right? I always say you have to build discernment to know where each person is supposed to lie. Okay. What does that mean? Meaning, I don't care if a person has been in your business for 10,000 years and you thought they would never leave you. Okay. At the end of the day, that's not your job. That's not your responsibility. They're not your whatever. They're in their own world, their own business, right? You've got to have the discernment to know, are they someone who is meant to be in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime? And you've got to put them in their place, because if you do not, you will always be in this hamster wheel of, oh, I'm so focused on every person that is leaving me, or every person that is failing me, or every person that did me wrong, blah, 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 blah. And you're missing all of the people that have been there, right? That are still in your season, that are still in for a lifetime. And I think that and the only way to build discernment, you guys, is motivation. Motivation leads to the self-discipline to get up every single day and keep going, right? The only way that I believe I've built my discernment over the years in this business is because I have chosen to become a different version of myself every day, every week. I fall off too. It's not easy, right? It is not easy being better than you were the day before. It's really not, you guys. It is very difficult. But at the end of the day, I refuse to say a year from now, I am no better off than what I was last year. Absolutely not. That is a non-negotiable. That is a never again. That is not acceptable. I will not accept nothing less, right? And I think for you, you got to get to a place in your life where you accept nothing less from that too. And so we all have the same business. We all have the same kit. And at the end of the day, you guys, I think that we all need to remember that nothing has to be perfect in this business to show progress, right? It's one foot in front of the other. It is one post. It is one reel. It is one hands-free. It is one TikTok. It is one whatever. Stop thinking the world owes you something and that every post you put up or every story you put up is going to get you 10,000 customers. You put it out there because you know that is what's going to propel your business forward. You put one foot in front of the other and understand that delayed gratification will always be better than instant gratification because that's fleeting, right? You can, like, if I were to tell you, hey, listen, I'll give you $500 right now if you post this, but that's the only $500 you're ever going to make in this business. Or if I told you, but if you showed up every single day and you posted one time a day for 5 months, I can show you how to make $5,000 a month every single month for the rest of your life. Come on, right? But we live in this world where we want it right now, right? I don't know about you. That doesn't exist. And if it exists, it is very fleeting. And I don't want it. I want something, and I would rather have something that is longevity than something that is instant and it is only one time. Never, ever, ever, right? And so I think for us, you got to remember this business is all about that delayed gratification. It is about working when no one is looking. It is about showing up for yourself because you deserve that best version of yourself. It's showing up in a light where you come from a place of service versus you feeling that you have to be served too, right? Everything changes when your outlook changes. And I think that you just got to get to the point where you believe in your heart that you deserve more. So perfectionism is out the window because none of us are that, right? And so stop procrastinating what you know you need to get done today and just do it. So that's pretty much all I have. I don't know. I'm gonna keep drinking my thing. Anyway, hopefully that was good.
That was so good. All right, guys. We love ya. We can't wait to see you. Next week starts a 2-week series of, or maybe one. I don't know. We have to figure that part out. But it's product challenge. So we're going to drop a ton of knowledge on you. So please, please, please be on that Zoom because you might learn something. You probably will, 100%. And we have a fun challenge going into February for you guys. We love ya. We're all here for you. And we're excited for you guys and your goals. See you later.